Hello and welcome to another one in the series of Fireside chats here at NodeConf EU. I'm Katie Roberts and I'm here with Kassian Wren from Cloudflare. Now Kassian, you have been known by a couple of other names, yes. So do you want to just go into that?
Yeah. So I'm known as the Node botanist. That's been my handle for quite a long time now. And before I was married, I went by the name Cassandra Perch. So those are both names that I recognize as. I got married and changed my name to Kassian Wren.
And they're both Star Trek names?
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Yes.
Oh,
from Cassian Andor and Sabine Wren.
That's great. And it's worth mentioning your other name, Cassandra, because you, of course, wrote the book on Johnny Five.
I wrote two of them, yeah.
Yeah. You have been involved with NodeBots for a long time.
5 years now.
5 years, yeah. First NodeConf that I came to, you were speaking at that then, and I remember you had some fantastic wearable tech that you had that lit up everywhere. It was amazing. Yep. But one thing that from this year, you've got, well, I've got my watch on.
I don't have the conference watch on, but yes.
And that's because you took it apart within
I put it back together, to be fair. I did manage to put it back together. It's just not on me at the moment, but it still works.
I just love the fact that you travel with a set of jeweler's screwdrivers so that you can do this sort of thing.
It was actually just a regular screwdriver. The screws aren't super tiny, but I do carry a small kit with me, yeah.
So, you're here at NodeConf to talk about WebAssembly, and I was just wanting to know, what are you excited about in WebAssembly?
I'm extremely excited about WebAssembly as the future of a multi-language web. We now have the technology to run other languages than JavaScript in the browser, in Node, anywhere that V8 runs, and that's huge because you can get a ton of code reuse out of libraries that exist in other languages. I use ImageMagick in my demo. That's a library that I find to be a very good example because it's been around for so long, it's unit tested, it's open source, and it's in C, but that's okay because WebAssembly very much supports C, and so you can reuse all these libraries, and then it also gives a ton of extra power to the browser. We can now do things that JavaScript isn't necessarily good at in the browser, things like graphics that involve linear algebra, things like that. We can also do things like image editing, video editing, all of that kind of stuff in the browser and in V8 or so in Node as well. And that's huge. That is a step forward in the internet that I would compare to the step forward that happened when Ajax became a thing.
Right. So do you think that this is the end for JavaScript then?
Oh, absolutely not. I do think there are some people who want to replace JavaScript with WebAssembly entirely, but I don't see that as the future. I mean, of course, I could be wrong, but I say this with all the love in the world, and I get quoted on it so many times, and they never quote the "with all the love in the world" part. But JavaScript is a cockroach, and it's not going anywhere. It's going to be around for an extremely long time. It's going to be extremely hard to kill off. So, but I do say that with all the love in the world. I do love JavaScript.
Well, yeah, I've been around since, I started out as a JavaScript developer, and then I remember everyone was like, no, this is the end of JavaScript. Everybody is going to use ActionScript where JavaScript is dead.
TypeScript, CoffeeScript, all those, yeah.
And it just keeps on coming back, and I'm all for it because I think it's a great language, but I know what you mean. It's very difficult to kill off. Absolutely. So you're very involved with developer relations. What does that mean to you?
So that means to me a lot of different things, but the thing I'm most passionate about with developer relations is education. So I get to give talks on things like WebAssembly because I'm educating developers on technologies that can help with their pain points. Do they have something to do with the product? Yes, but the technology itself is open and available to everybody. So there's definitely an educational element, which I find is one of the most important things about being in developer relations, is being able to educate people on new technologies and being able to reach out to people and help with their pain points.
Yeah. Okay. We were talking earlier about serverless, and I wanted to ask, where do you think serverless is going to go?
So I think serverless is heading this transition point towards maturity where serverless platforms are starting to offer different ways of doing things. Cloudflare Workers is a good example of this. We run directly on V8 instead of running in a VM or a container, so we've gotten rid of the cold starts problem, and we have 190 data centers that we deploy to immediately, so you don't have a latency problem due to geographical distance from the server. So I think that's a major point of maturity, is when a movement starts to have different approaches to doing things and different solutions for different problems within serverless. So I think serverless is going to get more mature. I think we're going to see more solutions that are novel and solve different problems. And I think we're going to see more widespread adoption because of that.
That's great. Finally, Node is 10 this year. Yeah. What do you think the best achievement has been for Node in the last 10 years?
I easily think it's the community. I believe Node has built a strong and inclusive community around it. It obviously isn't perfect, no community is, but I believe that Node's community is one of the best out there, and it's constantly trying to improve as well. And I think that's one of the major achievements of Node, is it's a community that I don't have to say like, yeah, I mean I do Node, but I'm not part of the community. Like, no, I am part of the Node community, and I'm happy to be part of it. And so I think that is the major achievement of Node. It goes so far beyond code, and it really goes to the people that created it, the people that work on it every day, the people who contribute every now and again, and the people who have just made their first contribution, or the people who just use it. The community is such a vibrant and great space to be in, and I think easily that is Node's biggest achievement.
Great, thank you very much. It's been a real pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, it's been a pleasure as well.